My mom is completely dependent and it's hard not to think of her as a burden. Before anyone asks, no, my mom isn't disabled. My mom used to be a super driven and independent person. She drove herself out of poverty. All of her family is still living paycheck to paycheck, but through hard work and seeking new opportunities and new/grueling careers she got out. She should honestly be a success story. Then, when we moved from our home country to the US, she just became completely dependent. Mind you, my dad paid for so many English lessons for her and she always claimed they were too hard and stopped going. He supported her getting a job here, but she always said it would be too hard because she can't speak English, which is BS because they live in South Florida. I've gone into so many stores/restaurants where no one spoke English except for hello and thank you. Meanwhile, she stays home and watches her soap operas from our native country about 80% of the time. What makes it worse is that she expects me and my dad to always solve all her problems for her. She orders clothes online, her English is good enough for that apparently, and if she doesn't like them she expects us to do all the work in returning because she doesn't know. She won't even take a fully labeled and sealed box to the post office. We were traveling to another continent for vacation and she checked a bag after me and my dad advised her not to. To no one's surprise, the bag got lost. She screamed and cried and told me and my dad we had to fix it. She never lifted a finger to do any of the work like make a call, but she criticized everything we did. Now, my dad and I are going to drive somewhere beyond the range of his EV and we aren't sure there will be charging stations on the way. The solution is pretty simple. For 2 days, he and my mom simply switch cars. Now she's throwing a fit because she doesn't know how to drive an electric car. My God, just put it in drive. She's been driving for almost 50 years and gets herself a new car every 3 years. I think she can handle an electric car. I'm just so tired of her requiring us to do everything. For New Year's, she wants to go out to a fancy restaurant and she annoys me and my dad to make reservations. I'll suggest a place that has reservations and she shoots it down, but then also refuses to make reservations herself. I'll never forget a trip we took a few years ago where, at the last dinner of the trip, she told us she wished we had done something different. Mind you, at no point did she ever raise a finger to suggest what to do or where to go, except to complain about a museum being boring or it being cold or how she hates the food we got. I'm just visiting for the holidays, but stuff like this makes me look forward to my flight back home, back to my empty apartment. One time, as I was leaving to fly home, she started crying and said, "I'm sorry I'm so difficult, but I don't want to change." I guess that says everything I need to know, but I do wonder if I'm just being a brat about everything.